I'm back. Kind of forgot the channel existed. Not because I'm gonna retire. No, I will always be on YouTube, no matter what. The reason I was gone, I went to France for 2.5 weeks. And the other reason, I don't know, I just forgot the channel existed. But I may have not uploaded as much. I think I said it in a different video. But the time will always stay the same. But now we're going to PonyTown. Let me just show you footage of like almost the entire map, and see if you can find something wrong with it. Did you find out what's wrong? If you haven't, there is nothing to do. Aside from playing with hanging out, making friends, that stuff, there is nothing. You could argue the island is something, like you can build an island, which sounds fun, as long as you have ideas. But that's not what we're here for. We're here for something other than that. Let me just give you a quick overview of what PonyTown is, and then go into the basics, and then slowly just go through everything. So for starters, I'm reading this off a PonyTown guide from a month ago at the time of recording. The basics, as you can see, we can create a unique pony. You can explore a map, this map. We have the library, the bakery, we have a campsite. We can interact with others, as you can see in the chat. I turned the chat bubbles up for this video because otherwise it would get really cluttered. We can join and create parties. Like, I'm not gonna invite them to the parties, but that's something we can do. And we can whisper. There we go. I mean, it's not cluttered as of now, but how do you move, you ask? WASD. If you press shift, you walk. If you let go, or if you don't press shift, you run. You can make ponies that can fly. You can have alicorns and unicorns, like this one from Lauren Faust. Alicorn and unicorns can fly, and unicorns can also use magic. That's what we can do here. And that's everything we can do. If you're really good at it, like you've probably seen, if you've played PonyTown, you've probably seen some changelings or like some PonyTown videos on TikTok where people like go real quick for like the expressions and that shit. Like, for example, I do this, and then I also do this. That's something some people do on PonyTown. That's advanced. I'm not gonna use it ever, but this is the first time I've ever done it. So, now that you know that, let's move on. Why PonyTown is boring and needs big changes. As you can see, the game's a work in progress. But we're looking at home. It's here, version 0.114.1-alpha. It's been like 8 years, and it's still in alpha. The changelogs, like this, these are, if you want to read them, pause the video. And this is just 2 versions. You see, all of them are either quality of life features or just small bug fixes. There is no major update. You could argue that the 10s are, but they're not. They're just small, like it's just a small change to the game. But, well, sure, it's a nice little hangout place. But don't get me wrong, the last major update is either the bakery or the library. I don't know, one of the two. Now we're going back in and we're gonna talk about the island. So, we're at the docks. It's weird because normally it's cluttered with chat boxes and that stuff. But here's the party island. And this is my island, a work in progress, and I don't think I'll ever do anything with it anymore. Because I have no idea what to do. But, I mean, I have one from my friend Misty, which you can see in the friend list. This is my island, and this is my home. But I got Misty's island. And this is how creative you can be. Each party island is different from each one. Anyway, this is how creative people can get. The problem with islands is you need to be on a party to show it off, but you should be able to get people with you without having to start a party. Now we go into why PonyTown is boring in a bad way. There is a bad boring and good boring. Let me explain in the next topic. There are people like that on YouTube. I will show some fragments of some YouTube videos. The creators of those videos will be credited in the description down below with the link to their video. People have been asking for actual minigames in PonyTown for years. And as you know, it has never been added. I have no idea why, but it's just not good. Problem is, the developers are just too lazy to even add like fun stuff to PonyTown. They're just too busy with adding quality of life features and adding minor stuff and that shit. They're just not doing anything. Don't get me wrong, PonyTown is a project that I bet it's hobby based. The problem, they don't listen to the community at all. Not even to the people in the official PonyTown Discord that you can only go in if you're a tier 4 supporter and maybe tier 3, but correct me if I'm wrong, and it's only tier 4. So the problem is PonyTown, they just don't listen to the community. That's a bad thing to do. Look, there are a lot of things people want, but a lot of people want minigames. Add them! It shouldn't be that hard. Now let me just show you some concept people made for like some minigames. Could be in PonyTown and that stuff, and then my own things that I want to see in PonyTown. If they get ever implemented, most likely not, because why would they? Unless a PonyTown developer watches this video and finally thinks, hey, that's a great idea, let's add minigames. I'm not gonna be surprised. Anyway, here are the concepts.
Alright, so this next minigame idea here is a game that combines racing with a classic game that some of you may be familiar with. There is some Halo custom maps like this, there is some Rec Rooms maps like this, there's some VR chat worlds like this. There's all kinds of games that have some sort of minigame like this, but this one would be combining a racing element with it. Now this is sort of a classic platform game where there's X amount of platforms, let's say like 10 or something like that, and players jump between them or move between them, and randomly every 10 seconds or 5 seconds or something like that, something happens and it can affect multiple platforms or just one platform. Perhaps the platform is completely erased and eradicated. Perhaps a platform just spawns a gun or a banana or some random goofy thing like that on it, and you can use it to benefit yourself towards other platforms. Now this game would be similar to that, also obviously nothing extreme like a gun or something like that, but essentially the idea is that you all start in a central space like this little red square here, and there is a set of paths that will open up once the game starts. You can go down, you can go through the middle, or you can go up and over. The point of the game is to have it, obviously all these paths would have to be like the same distance and everything like that, but the premise of the idea is that you race, and as you race across this, things will happen. Now, the main problem with this is that you could have situations where multiple people would win, although I don't think that would be the worst idea ever. I think having multiple people be able to win this could be fun, because obviously, it makes sense that multiple people would probably reach the final square at basically the same time. So I'm totally fine with this game leading into like, oh, 4 people won and like 10 people lost. I'm totally fine with that. I think that could be a fun thing with it, actually. But essentially, that is the idea. You get to a certain section, you can't progress further until the event happens, and the event happens and it affects things in weird, random ways. And it could, obviously affect platforms that are in front of you, it could affect platforms that are behind you, and you always have the option to completely abandon the path in front of you and just leave and then go back to a different path. So I can abandon the middle path and then go up to the top path instead. Obviously, that would cost you a lot of time, but it is something that could be interesting. Last but not least, we come back here to talk about a build off. That's right, a build battle is my last idea here. It's a very simple one. It's something that I think a lot of people would understand, and essentially the premise works exactly like how it does in Minecraft servers and stuff like that. The way that they work in those Minecraft servers is that you get a prompt. Maybe it's something like, hey, build a historical monument, or hey, build a cozy cabin, or hey, build a tree, or do this or do that, or whatever like that. It gives you a randomized prompt, and every player has to do it. They're all in their own little designated rooms. You could have it be team build battle as well, so you could have multiple people inside a single room, and you have to build and make whatever you need to make. And then at the end, at the 10-minute mark or whatever like that, it takes everyone from room to room one by one and allows everyone to vote on which ones they liked.
Number 4, potion brewing. This is a cool minigame for a lab or potion brewing class. Have the students collect some items around the school and bring them back for their potion. This gives them a reason to really explore the map. Number 5, guess the item. Have a student come up to the stage. Then the teacher will place down an item behind the stage and show it to the student. After a bit, the student will have to vaguely explain the item to their fellow classmates. The goal is to figure out what they're talking about. The student that guesses the item gets to go explain the next item, and so on. Number 7, cooking. For this mini game, set up a dish you want the students to prepare. Make it very appetizing with quite a few ingredients. The person to replicate the dish perfectly first is the best chef.
You spawn into this world or something like that. Maybe you're with other players. Maybe each player gets like their own little section or something like that. Not a big deal. It doesn't have to be as big as this either. It can be a simple like 6x6 grid, or like maybe a 4x4 grid or something like that. I don't know. But the point is, you'd have a little bit of a grid here and a little bit of a setup, something similar to what I have here. And something will randomly spawn. These 4 tiles will randomly spawn in different shapes and colors and patterns and things like that. Then after a few seconds, a counter, well, not after a few seconds, but a counter will appear, giving you a countdown of 5 seconds. Once that 5 seconds is up, the entire thing suddenly turns from this to stone. And after maybe you have like 30 seconds or maybe 60 seconds or something like that to match the pattern, and if you don't do it in that time, then it just locks you out, and that is whatever you had left after that 60 seconds is what you submit. So it would be a very basic idea of basically just trying to match what you were presented and then trying to copy it. Whoever got the closest basically would win. That's basically the easiest way to say that, is basically whoever got the closest to the pattern and the shortest amount of time would win. This next one is also going to be fun. This one is a simple game of pick a color. Basically, the idea is that you're going to be picking colors. Once you pick a color, you don't necessarily like pick a color. You're going to stand on top of a color, and then randomly the game is going to remove those colors. It's going to replace them with like water or something like that. It can replace them with like water, and then boom, you're in water. No, that means you lose. You can no longer move, or maybe it just like turns you, like maybe it just I don't know what it would do once you lost, but I imagine once you're in there, you can't really technically officially play. It just says you lost. Maybe you can still run around or something. I don't know. But it'd be interesting if you got like locked out of place, or if you turned into some form of ghost to spectate in that way. I don't know. But it's an interesting idea. It's a very basic idea. It's been around forever, and I think if they added it as an official minigame, it would be played a lot, and I think it would work out really well, because I think it would be a very fun game to just run around on something like this, and the game's just like, haha, white is the next one that's going to be removed, you better get off of that, oh shit, let's go to pink, and then it just removes all of the white squares or something like that. It would be really fun. They have like versions of this in Minecraft and things like that, so, and I definitely think that people would be very familiar with it, and as soon as they saw it, they would immediately know what it is and immediately start playing it the correct way. Like, they wouldn't have any trouble at all being like, oh, what do I do? It explains itself immediately when you see it.
So, now that you've seen some concepts on minigames, again, the creators are credited in the description down below for you to check them out. And now for one thing, like we're very close to the library, one thing I want to see added, like there are books here, right? And they have like images and stuff. Instead of like pretending to read like this, if you click on it, there should be a button like that says either close or read. I would love to see that. It adds some more purpose to the books. I want to see that added, which makes the library a bit more fun and makes it have a bit more purpose other than, well, being a school. I mean, it's a roleplay school, which is understandable, and that's good enough, in my opinion. But this cauldron, I've never thought about that, and there's science stuff, you should be able to make potions here. Because there are potions in the game, but you can't make them. That should be a thing! Like, why add this if you can't do shit with it? I've never thought about that, but that just came up. Anyway, let's go to the bakery next. Because that's the next thing I want. There we are going to see the next thing I want to talk about. There is a kitchen here, right? This is a kitchen. Why can't you actually bake in it? Like, there's this furnace oven like thing. There's this thing. We have dough. We have sugar. We have dough right here. We have ingredients like strawberries, blueberries. There should be a baking system here. Like, what's the point of a kitchen if you can't do things with it? Like, it should be an option, like in the settings menu, or like whenever you enter the kitchen. Like, you don't have to bake, but you can choose to. It should either be an option in the options menu, like same with like the reading should just be in general for everyone. Here I think it should be in the where would it better fit? I think it fits with the game, in the game, because, well, it's not a controls, it's a game thing. There should be a toggle in there. And the next thing I want to talk about is Ashes Town for a bit. I'll be building up Ashes Town, and then I'll talk about the, well, thing that I want to see in PonyTown from that game. So now that we're in Ashes Town, there is something here that I want to show you. Like, this game has like RPG things, right? You may know where I'm going with this. NPCs and quests. This is about Ashes Town. I would actually love to see like interactions with them, to like talk to them and get quests here, but that's besides the point. We're talking about PonyTown here. So, the RPG elements should be a toggle in PonyTown. Let me switch to PonyTown real quick. Again, it should be in the game category 2 as an option you can turn off or on. PonyTown is perfect for RPG. Like, it's just perfect. Ashes Town proves it. Just add NPCs Shouldn't be that hard to code. And then we also have like maybe add like free quests, like for example find an axe, cut a tree, and defeat 10 enemies, or just to make it a bit simple, 5 enemies. Then another one being give a strawberry cake to the NPC. If it just starts with these 3, more can be added in the future. Why is Fluttershy here? Minister of PonyTown? Is that what it's supposed to say? Why is she wanted? What did Fluttershy do? Anyway, another thing that I mentioned but is not in the game, but is here, are enemies. Let me check the map real quick. There are enemy stuffs here, goals over there, and the raiders over here. We're going to the raiders right now, and here we can actually run faster. This is walking, this is normal, and this is fast running. See the difference? It's not that bad that PonyTown doesn't add that. I mean, it's understandable for this if you want to retreat from them. But apparently, I see they can also do that. But these are enemies, as they can damage you, as you can see. And you can damage them. I don't have anything to do stuff with. Also, you can eat food. I forgot how to eat. Oh, right, the E button. You can heal faster with it. We have weapons, like sticks. I can't find a stick for some reason. But believe me, we can. There are things you can pick up and hit them with in this game. You can also buy them at a shop, which is located over here. This is a trader, which is a shop. Here's the trader, and here we can shop for, well, whatever these things are. So we can buy a pickaxe, we can buy a syringe, we can buy potions, lanterns, mentals, all kinds of stuff. I'm not sure if it changes each time, or each day, but that is a must in an RPG option. All these things that I mentioned and these other people mentioned would make PonyTown less boring and just more fun. So that's what I want to see added. NPCs, RPG elements, shops, enemies, that stuff, baking and reading. It would make PonyTown so much more fun than it actually is today. The only thing you can do is talk to people, roleplay, and make your island. That's it. Nothing else. Don't prove me wrong, the game is beautifully made, and I love the pixel art, I love the customization, I love everything. I love how colorful it is, I love how people interact with this, I love how people... Well, apparently campfires have been added too. I love how the map looks, I love how everything works. Everything is just smooth. It's the problem that nothing exciting is even in the game. There is literally nothing to do if your friends aren't online. Look at it. Everyone is offline. What do? Nothing. This video has been in production for since the same date recorded on August 26th, 2024. So, yeah, that's currently September 4th, 2024. So, it's been quite a while. I had a little motivation around the end, but I finished it. Anyway, I hope you understand the problems, and if any PonyTown developer watches it, please add mini games to PonyTown because it's literally boring when no one is in the friend list. Anyway, thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you all next time, which I don't know when that's gonna be, but hopefully soon, maybe next month, I don't know. Bye bye!